as some of you may have known, I recently did a debate with Infamous about the rumbling and how I think 80% is adequate. Now, again, as I keep trying to explain to you people, military operations are things that are usually very well researched and then talked about. One person can just randomly go out and do something like that. So for me to say Rumble is adequate, I can't say it definitively because I don't have enough information. It looks to me like it was adequate, but I don't know. Now, here's the thing: what exactly does 100% rumbling accomplish? To me, it doesn't make any sense. Why specifically the number 100%? Now, I'm assuming the point is, oh, we don't want the rest of the world claim back to genocide the aliens, which 100% rumbling does not guarantee that. They may be talking saying, "What do you mean, Beluga? What do you mean didn't guarantee that?" Because the whole point of the rumbling is protect island devils, right? The people on Paradis. Neither you nor I nor Aaron cared about the outside aliens. Aaron trampled on them, and we all cheered him on while he was doing so. And because it was to protect his island where he was quote born and raised, right? In his speech, remember that? Now, the problem is that after the Eldians leave Paradis, well then now Eldians are open season. Now that guarantee has been lost because here's the thing: the whole thing about Yeagerism is, oh, we have to guarantee. Yes, we can't use the ooze bit theory plan. We have to guarantee that the Eldians are going to be safe. Well, 100% Roman doesn't guarantee that the Eldians aren't going to get wiped out. You can't guarantee that. You just can't. Then you may say, well, that's ridiculous. Why would they wipe them out? And I simply say to you, none of the underlying conditions got changed. Nothing that the rumbling does is going to change human nature. The only way that you would actually 100% rumbling would actually guarantee anything is if you make the rest of the world uninhabitable so that only the island devils are around and they only live in Madagascar. I mean, so Paradis. So assuming that everyone lives in the world lives in Paradis, then yes, it accomplishes that. 100% rumbling accomplished guarantees that the Elvians, well, not guarantees, but let's just use the word guarantee, even though it's not guaranteed. Aliens, guaranteed. It's guaranteed that only the Elvians are gonna press each other, meaning that Elvians are gonna survive forever. So they're not gonna be totally wiped out because it's only gonna be Paradisians fighting with the Paradisians. Now, of course, we're looking over a whole bunch of things while I'm already doing this calculus. Because we know for a fact that war is going to happen. We know for a fact genocide of aliens is going to happen. We know what's going to happen. So what exactly is Aaron trying to accomplish? Or no, maybe I should ask, what are you trying to accomplish? What exactly is so untenable about leaving people alive after the rumbling? This doesn't make any sense to me. See, my goal is a very objective goal. It's a very fair goal. It has historical precedent. It works all the time. And that is simply to make aliens work power. If aliens work power, then everything is fine. Right? The United States can do whatever we want to people because we can't be retaliated against. It's just how it is. We do whatever we want because we just can't be retaliated against. We don't have to kill everyone in the world. Why? Because our technology is superior. That's just it. This is the conversation. It doesn't matter if China and India team up and do anything. The United States could beat them easily. We would beat them. And even if you think it'd be a tough war, you all know that war would happen. It would not happen over here. It would happen over there. Why? Because we're superior. Our technology is superior. We don't have to be. We don't have to have the biggest population. We don't have to wipe out all of our enemies. As long as we're the superior country, as long as we're the most powerful nation, that's it. And that's what I want from LDO. There is no. People keep saying, "Oh, Aaron ends the cycle of violence. Aaron ends the cycle of violence." There's no end in the cycle of violence. Nothing Aaron does is going to end the cycle of violence. Aaron's only goal, as far as LD is concerned, internationally, should just be to put her in a position where they can't be victimized. That's it. Now, 100% rumbling if L is a world power, Elliot is a world power, and everyone else has been trampled, and they can't do anything, and Elliot develops to become a world power, 100% rumbling is redundant and stupid. It does nothing because it accomplishes nothing. Because nothing that killing those people is not going to result in better quality of life in any time span for any Eldians. You're not going to notice a difference no matter how far along it is, right? And to simplify that, what I mean is that if you do 100% rumbling versus rumbling to Eldian becomes a world power, which I think is 8%, could be different, but I think it's 8%. After that point, 100% rumbling, there's no material difference. No one's lives are improved. No suffering is averted. It's all the same thing. Again, unless your goal is to make it so that only Eldians, Paradisians oppress other Paradisians, in which case, great, you've guaranteed that outcome. But the problem, even then, is that, well, what's stopping humanity from wiping each other out? Which may seem like a strange thing to you, but that was talked about multiple times in Attack on Titan, and during the Cold War, that was a legit fear people had about humanity wiping itself out. In fact, to this day, we have that doomsday clock, which I think is ridiculous, but about, seconds to midnight where humanity has been just totally eradicated due to nuclear war. So even stuffing people in a small space like that, I mean, that's guaranteed to bring about devastating conflict. Whether they got all wiped out or not is, hey, that's that's up to fate. But I'll give you that. I will even concede that point just to make it easier for you. For your side of the argument, that it'll be guaranteed, even though it's not a guarantee. I'll say that's a guarantee. But in reality, this entire charade is just ridiculous to me because we already know, as I said previously, that genocide is going to happen to the aliens. We know that for a fact. We know that war's going to happen. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, parents are trying to prevent war." Excellent. He's trying to prevent war. We agree. Okay, so what are his goals then? What are his goals then? My goal is simple. Put Eldio in a situation where she cannot be victimized. Very simple. Very simple. Take for example, you have the first world, the second world, the third world. Now, funny enough, and I hope I'm not gonna expound on a big spiel here, but third world doesn't mean poor. Third world originally just meant a country that was not aligned with Russia or the United States. America was the first world, so the Western world would be the first world. Soviets were the second world, and people who were not allies with neither were the third world. So they get victimized by both of them, you see. And even with the second world, the first world, right? They get used in pawns and coups and stuff like that in proxy wars, right? To achieve their political goals. So Russia and the United States are doing that. Now the United States is the only person, well, not the only, but is the main person starting coups and starting proxy wars, blah, 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 blah. Well, why? Because we're safe and human nature dictates that is going to happen. I don't want any proxy wars happen in my country. That's why my country spends $700 billion on their military. That should be the situation for Eldia. Eldia cannot circumvent human nature. They can only try to be on top of it and try to say, okay, human nature dictates people who abuse power. People are going to abuse power. Let us have the power then, so that we are the perpetrators, not the victims. That's the only way you're going to be safe. The whole personality archetype for wolf parody is as follows: people who are alliance cucks, and again, this is all jokingly, the cuck part, not what I'm about to say. Alliance cucks, they are willing to take a lot of risk so they can shed little blood. Yeagerists are willing to shed a lot of blood for a little bit of risk. A great example of this would be the whole Connie arc with Falco, when he was about to feed his Falco to his mom. Recall how Armin risked himself to save Falco. Now, me, having a disposition of a Yeagerist, thought this is ridiculous. Just let Connie do whatever he wants. I was not going to risk my life for Connie who could or who would or would not have saved me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe Armin knew something I didn't, but as a person who was watching, who was reading it, I was like, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. But Alliance cucks, they think that's a great thing to do. Armin, I would have done the same thing, or they hope that they would do the same thing because they want to risk and want to gamble on something that could potentially lead them to having to spill less blood. So 50-year plan, kind of risky. You know, there's not no guarantees there. Kind of risky. But it's just a little bit of blood. So oh, maybe they'll do it. That's why the alliance people do it. Yeagerist like, nah, I'm not taking any risks. We're just gonna crush these people so that they cannot retaliate. They cannot do anything. If they wanted to, they couldn't. Now, past a certain point, again, it just becomes needless bloodshed. After the outside world can't do anything, and whatever point that is, I think it's 80%. You may have a different opinion, and I would love to hear your reason why. You can write a detailed comment or whatever. But after that, the killing becomes worthless because you're killing more people for no reason. There's no extra security. There's no anything. It's just you're killing people just to kill people. You're not improving anyone's lives at all. You're not making the risk less riskier. You're just killing people. It's just strange, and that's why you're just simply a hypocrite. If you're not a hypocrite, you're inconsistent. If you want to do 100% rumbling and not want to say, you know what, let's make it so that the world can retaliate. So that's my video. I'm sure you guys can get very angry. Please feel free to leave all your comments down below. Thank you for watching. That's the next video.